the topic of democracy, this week Elizabeth took a close look at the diversity in Canada's new cabinet.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau caused a stir recently when he unveiled a diverse federal cabinet featuring an equal number of men and women. Now, I for one think that's amazing. Where did they find so many women? I mean, you could be forgiven for thinking that women were as much as 50% of the Canadian population and deserved equal representation in their government.
Because it's 2015.
Now, as Australians all know, top positions in government are always granted based solely on merit. Which is why the executive branch of our government is not merely a sausage fest, but one that is made up of strange, malformed sausages, the kind that should be placed in a museum to frighten future generations. This trend of unequal representation for women is seen in governments worldwide. See if you can spot all the women in this picture of US Republican presidential candidates. It seems like men dominating every prominent position in government is just the way it is. A baffling yet unwavering truth that has always been and always will be. Like Nickelback, or the fact that Kyle Sandilands appears on television ever. But does it have to be that way? These historical abominations suggest that maybe we should put a little thought and care into the governments that represent us.
Now guys, call me crazy. I have this theory. Governments make decisions that affect all of us, and that includes straight, white, middle-aged men, and everyone else as well. So maybe...
Are you saying there are people that are not straight, white, middle-aged men?
I know, Michael, it came as a shock to me too. But as Canada shows us, you know, we could have parliaments and cabinets that accurately reflect the people they represent. Like, imagine that.
Nah.
But, you know, women are very important to our current government. We have a few in the cabinet, and also they were well represented under Tony Abbott's leadership.
Oh, very well represented. I mean, he appointed himself as Minister for Women, which shows how important it was to him.
Exactly. You know, you couldn't trust a woman to do that job. She'd just get her period and yell at everyone. We find the same thing actually over in business. Now they find that in America particularly, there are more CEOs of the top companies named John than there are CEOs named all women. It's the same thing in Australia, but here the top name is Peter, and that's with an ER.
I'm just going to write that down, calling my son Peter.
ER.
Yeah, of course.
Now, Anthony was talking about female characters in movies and movies and TV, and this happens so often that you get an ensemble cast in which there's a range of wacky characters and one single woman. It happens so often that there's a name for it. It's called the Smurfette principle.
I'm just glad that we've avoided it on this show.
It's lucky, isn't it?
Oh boy, okay.